What up? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what this is all about. I've been teaching for maybe a decade, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. I've been teaching pre-COVID, kind of that mid-COVID or whatever, the midst of it when we did Zoom classes, and now post-COVID or wherever we're kind of at in this world in 2023. And I want to talk about phones, like classroom management, and how do we deal with phones. And this is how I deal with phones. Now, we all have a phone. You're on your phone right now watching this video. I'm recording this video on a phone. They're part of our world. But how do we find balance in a classroom when I really want to have the human experience. I really want my students to be present. And sometimes it's really, really hard, and not sometimes, but it can be very difficult to have the human experience and really connect with each other when we have this pocket computer, right? When we have this computer just hanging out in our back pocket, in our front pocket, like sitting on the desk, it's right there, right? We can get the dopamine hit if we, feel the buzz, we feel the vibration, or if we get a notification. So this was my solution. I started this a couple years ago. And what this is, it's colored cardstock. So I teach 4 classes, and so for each class, I pick a different color. So this happened to be a public speaking course a couple years ago. And on top of each one, you can kind of see it on this one. You can see it kind of down here. Is at the top of each cardstock, I put the student's first and last name. So that's where their phone, I call this the phone garage. You park your phone, you park your bag, and you park your phone, and you're part of the experience. You're part of this human experience. But they can also see their phone. It's not a phone jail. This is just a table that's off to the side. It's not in front of them, but it's just off to the side where they can see where it is. And that way we're all on equal playing field. And my phone is parked too. I'm not on my phone during the classroom. There's my little cat. I keep my classes extremely interactive. So I want to keep them engaged. I promote conversation. I promote us talking to each other because I refuse to lecture. And I always say to my students, like, this is your phone. Like, I'm not taking it from you. And if I recognize I understand the concept of emergencies, or like if you're waiting on a doctor's call, if something is, going on in your family, I get it. And if you have to take a call, if you're waiting for something, like, I get it. Take your phone and just take it out in the hallway. But we don't live in a constant state of emergency. We don't live in this constant state where I have to be on call at all times. Like, we can allow ourselves a good hour and a half of just putting our phone away and being present. And this was my solution. And honestly, I've been doing this now for, I think, 2 years, ever since we went back into the classroom. And I think it works. I've not had any pushback from students. In fact, I've had some students say, like, it's really nice just to set my phone down. Like, I don't think any of us would really do it. Like, I don't think any of my students would do it kind of like voluntarily, because our phones are part of us. So given the opportunity, they know that this is how this works. And of course, I'm going to have activities, and we're going to do certain things where their phone is needed because they need to do some research or they need to look something up. But this is how I manage the classroom for phones. It's a phone garage, not a phone jail. Everybody's got their name on it. They know where their phone is. And I ask them to silence it. I ask them to even take the vibration off so it doesn't distract us, but they can still see where their phone is. And this is how I manage the classroom with phones, but we can still have the human experience. And with that, have an amazing day. Have an amazing day. But of course you will, because you are amazing.